Assalamu alaikum. I wish you all the best in 2026. I wish you happiness and prosperity to every one of you, as well as in all of your families. I wish you happiness. Next year, we'll have certain tendencies that took place from the previous years, particularly this year, because 2025 was a very important year for the new era, new tendencies to develop. So I would consider that this 2025 was like fundamental change year when people now in a big quantity started to speak and behave differently than it used to be before. Now, as more people speak truth, as more people behave truthfully, as more people behave from the point of view of justice and fairness, and do not afraid of the system or anything that stand in front of them in order to come to their dream, as more development is taking place. Because as was explained in previous videos, um, this this system that today available, I'm talking about not only system of government services, but also system as whole, be it social affairs, economical condition of our countries, or be it human relationships, family relationships. This turned into a kind of system that has been brought to our life by external forces. And I was explaining to you in my previous videos that this system was created thousands of years ago in order to take full control over the human race. And it was created by dark forces as well as gray forces, as I call them, because they do not behave openly as dark forces, but they use dark forces for their benefits. And this system, say for example, political system of every country was mainly dedicated for controlling people, using them for their benefits, manipulating people, and of course using um, their resources for their own benefits. And I'm not talking about only about corruption, for example. I'm talking about many other activities that they've been bringing in, because they've been monopolizing the management of the country, taking full control into their hands, and they used to behave the way as they think that is right, without consideration of the nation of that country. So we've gone through this kind of system through centuries, and whatever power it used to be, like for example, Mongol empire that took so many countries, took over so many countries, or be it fascism in 41, 45, those years when it was intensive Second World War going on in the world, or the Stalin regime, or Lenin's Communist Party regime, and many more today is still happening in some of the countries where people definitely feel themselves as slaves, like for example North Korea, um, or in Russia also situation is like that, where uh, usurpation of the power, when one person takes power into his hands and he controls everything, and he thinks that he's God who knows better how people are supposed to live. So this system was created for centuries by dark forces through this kind of people, who allowed to be manipulated by them. You see, it's like puppet. It usually they behaved as puppets of these people. But many of these politicians, they didn't even know that they're working for dark forces, and still they do that, but they don't even understand what they're doing and in whose hands they are. But like I said, this 2025 was extremely important, fundamental year of changes, when majority of the people now waking up, because they are spirits. Everybody has soul, and that soul and spirit as well knows much better than the brain of the human being, because brain is mainly protecting people. That's why protecting human being. That's why their role is little different, and they in many cases they rather considering ego of the person. By protecting the person, they brain rather dictates how to behave in order to be safe. That's why many people are afraid of speaking. It was like tendency for centuries that people used to be afraid to express their authentic point of view, their opinions. They're afraid to behave as they would like to behave. They're afraid to be honest. They're afraid to be just or fair. So this was a tendency until now. But 2025 started new kind of tendency in the world, which now will move to the next year and further for years to come. And ultimately, human race will turn into the self-respected, independent, and free nation on earth. And there will be no any kind of dividing to, for example, race or greed or religion, for example, no creed or many other kind of changes. For example, rich or poor, old or young, and in many cases, even borders will be very formal, virtually no borders even. Languages also will start to reduce in the world. So many changes are going to be, but this is not of today's conversation, because today I'm talking about what kind of changes are taking place next year. So changes will be in terms of finishing whatever was started. They started in actually the entire process of changing started in 80s. So this preparation for new era started in 80s, but 2025 was important in terms of waking up most of the people on earth, where main and most important changes took place. And as you can see today, the system, for example, for entertainment, because there was also a system like Hollywood stars or the singers, famous singers, for example, the actors. Today, musicians, they are you hardly see them, because that world was completely controlled by dark forces. And we know very well that in many cases they even signed contracts with dark forces in order to get famous, get some money, get wealthy. And today this tendency is gone. Actually, there is virtually nobody left today like that, because today is world is opening up for talented people. Like, for example, here in Kazakhstan, we have one of the most talented person in the world. His name is Dimash Kudaibergen. So Dimash is only thanks to his God-given talent and his heavy work, because he's working very hard to in order to to bring art to the world. A very beautiful art, and you can see it today in YouTube and other social network, where you can see his beautiful singing and be delighted about him. So people like him today, for example, authentic talents, they're coming up today. That is why I would like to tell you today that one of the main tendencies of the next year will be where every human being will have opportunity to open up, to get free, to get freedom by full heart, like you can finally breathe freely, you can finally think freely, you can finally take your own decisions freely without depending on anybody, without being afraid of anybody. So this tendency is now coming next year. That is why I would like you to start believing in yourselves, start waking up your dreams, because I'm sure that every one of you may have had some dreams before or having now, but having no hope that it will be materialized. Today I'm telling you that now the next year tendency is such that you will be getting new opportunities in terms of your own inner changes, because you will start changing mentally, you will start changing spiritually, and you will start believing more in Allah Ta'ala. Why? Because Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will be, we will be feeling His presence more and more every day. Next year, this is one of the main changes that is going to take place, because I know that I get some commentaries where people are losing hope and faith, but I'm telling you, never lose hope and faith, because this will be a very big mistake. And next year you will understand why, because the tremendous amount of changes that are going to take place in general in whole in the world will be related to those interesting changes that can be taken place only due to will of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. That's why I'm asking you, please try to reconsider if you are now having some I mean, if you're not sure that the changes are coming or not, no, absolutely 100% guaranteed. Next year, you will see that some changes that will be taking place will be related directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is why, like I said, on one hand, we can see that next year will be tendencies that will be related to the previous year's changes that are, although not very comfortable, but they have to take place because they have to accomplish that part of the very, very dark time of the human history when we used to live as slaves of the system. Whatever system, as I said, it is economic, political, or entertainment systems, or social, or family relationships, because some people have even more tendency of being slave of your own family, because that is also to be broken. That also has to change. Why? Because each and every individual has come to this life for his own life, to live his own life, his or her own life. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created human being to be free, absolutely free and happy. And that is why every human being has right to be absolutely independent and live, first of all, by considering his own value, his own love to himself or herself, respect to himself and herself and his own values. And only then, and only after that, help others around. It doesn't mean that you have to be egoistic person, no. Because unless you love yourself, you can't help love others. Unless you help yourself, you can't help others. That is why, first of all, you have to do everything possible for your own life to be exactly the way you want it to be. That is why, please, first of all, pay attention to your own happiness and whatever income you would like to have. Satisfy your own needs and wants, first of all. So, and these tendencies will be taking place even more and more in next year. So you'll be paying more attention to yourselves by trying to correct the way you think, correct the way you feel, and the way you live. Because all this has to be according to your own will, your own desire. And this should be straightened up. And it will take next year, some time will be taken for that purpose. So when every individual on earth should start loving personally themselves, because we cannot live happy life unless each and every individual is happy. So this is one of the major tendencies that will take place. And of course, another one, that dependence of the countries on external resources, external products, for example, will be diminishing, because every country will more considerate about their own well-being, and there will be much more, again, trends and tendencies towards opening your own businesses, creating your own things. Because you see, once you finally start loving yourself and respecting yourself, and you will notice that internal your creative abilities are so many, and you can find out that all your childhood dreams may be materialized, provided if you will start moving towards it, and you will start to finding faith in yourself. You will start finding that trust that unless I start doing something, it will not happen. That is why this kind of positive changes will start to take place, and you will be getting finance, you'll be getting resources, and you'll be going towards your dream once you will start loving yourself and changing that kind of behavior of or start to consider yourself ultimately that your individuality is very specific. There is no any human being in this world who are like you. Every individual is very authentic, very specific, and each and every individual is beautiful by his or her own way. That is why we have to respect it, and we have to love it, and we have to help it. That is why you should start from yourself first, and this will be a major tendency of this year, of this new year. And at the same time, in parallel, like I said, there will be changes of happening in the systems. They will be slowly, gradually, they will be keep breaking up. These government systems, they will collapse and break. This is coming, and ultimately the systems will change. The government system of services will change I mean, government service system will be turned into, from system, it will turn into new form, and this new form will be more human friendly form, where people will not feel any tension when it comes to the government. And this new today's form of ruling by dictatorship, like for example Putin or Kim Il Sung or what is his name? This South Korea. I forgot his name. South Korean or North Korea's president, for example, and many other dictators of the world. As you understand, this kind of people are now like dinosaurs. They will be archived and sent to the back in the um, into into old history, where centuries old kind of Hans and Tsars or kings used to rule the world. So this kind of like fairy tales will stay, and legends and myths will stay in the memories of people, but ultimately new form of government services will come to existence. It will be much lighter, much brighter, much close to the people and human beings, and there will be much more tendencies towards people controlling their own life and their own livelihood. That is why I would once again advise you not to look to external kind of resources, but consider it within yourselves, first individually, and second by your own community. And you will start looking for creative opportunities to create something, you know, to show how much of talent, how much talented you are, how much opportunities you have, how much abilities you have from within. So take it out and start to materialize it, and you will see resources will come by themselves at the time when a time will happen, when you will start to open up how much of potential you have. All this will start to come. And and also I would like to tell you that please never lose hope, first of all in yourselves, in your own selves, first of all. Second, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you must always remember help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there. He loves each and every of you. Allah ta'ala loves everything and everybody who Allah ta'ala created. He loves. So you never lose your hope, never lose your faith, and never lose your love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also, I would like to tell you that you should trust in yourselves. Don't look to what is happening right now in your countries. Don't try to think that, oh, here is end of ends. So that's it. No, when it comes to Pakistan, Imran Khan will be your leader. You will see he will come back to leadership position, and he will be even more mature, more wise, and more productive in his this new form. He will be absolutely outstanding leader. You will see. You'll be proud of him. You are proud of him right now, but you will be even more proud of him. You will see. So, inshallah, everything will be absolutely perfect in next year, provided we have to say goodbye to the old tendencies, because whatever is unfinished business still pending in your agenda, it has to finish. Unless it will finish, whatever beautiful life I have described will not be able to start unless you will say goodbye to the old system. And this is your country, and everything is in your hands, and everything is related to your destinies. Even if you say that loudly, even if you say that to your friends, to your relatives, to wherever you will say that, even your word is very important for the universe to give you that freedom. You understand? You have to understand the value of your voice, value of your niyat, of your clean, pure niyat. So you, as your country is called Pakistan, you have to have pak heart, packed dil you must have. Once you have that packed dil, you will see the doors will be opening up one by other. Never be afraid of anybody. Never, ever. Be brave. Be smart. Love yourselves. Don't forget about solidarity. Be close to each other. Only in your closeness is your strength. And definitely victory will be with you. No doubt the victory will be with you, and your leadership is coming. Imran Khan is coming to you. and you will be happy together, and you will make your country by your own hands and by your own intellect. Remember that and move towards that. Everything is in your hands, believe me. So happy new year, all the best. See you next time.